Hey there humans, Bob here with another Suicide Squad video, and in last night's State of Play, we got a ton of information surrounding the game and a confirmation on a bunch of post-launch stuff too. In this video, I'll be going over everything we finally know about Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Before we dive in, make sure you like and subscribe to keep up to date with more Suicide Squad content, as I'll be covering the game leading up to, during, and post-launch. Which in fact is a great place to start. One of probably the most important things that we've heard about the game is the type of game that it will be, and it's been all but confirmed that Suicide Squad will indeed be a live service title. I know there's a lot of mixed feelings about that, especially with how fundamentally hurt people are over the last superhero live service game we received in the form of Avengers, but I'm personally quite excited to see how Rocksteady tackle post-launch content and maintaining a healthy live service. Post-launch, it's been confirmed that they will be adding new story, new missions, new weapons, which I assume will be the chaseable element in repeatable content like many live service looters, and even earnable characters, all for free. As well as that, it's also been confirmed that battle passes will feature in the game, and they will only contain cosmetic items, and as far as we can tell, cosmetic items will not affect your performance in-game. That said, these two things are possibly my biggest concerns around the game right now, simply because it would seem that they're relying solely on cosmetic microtransactions to fund the game long term. Generally, most live service games, well, the successful ones at least, charge for their DLCs, assumingly because the extra revenue injection from each new chunk of content would serve to fund the next. The concern here is that if the only thing is making money in the game is the microtransactions and not new content, then financial decision makers behind the game might push for more of this rather than more actual content for people to play. Speaking of cosmetics though, a lot of the ones that we've seen definitely appear to be quite fun, even giving us Harley as Wonder Woman and King Shark as Superman. I assume on top of this we'll likely be getting crossover skins, including ones from the movies, shows, and potentially even other games. Looking at some more positive things now, we do have confirmation that at launch, crossplay will be present in the game, and the entirety of the story and the endgame has been built to be playable for solo players, duos, trios, and squads with online co-op throughout. It also appears to have drop-in, drop-out mechanics in what appears to be an open-world setting, where you can traverse Metropolis as you please with fast-paced traversal for every character. Also, if you opt to play solo, your teammates will be controlled by AI, and you can switch between which character that you want to play, although it hasn't been confirmed if you can do this on the fly. Also, it hasn't been confirmed if you do play with friends if you can all play as the same character, or if you each need to choose one of the initial 4 characters to fulfill a role in the gameplay. I'm personally hoping that I can run a full team of Captain Boomerangs, mainly just for the banter. A bit of bad news for those of you with metered internet connections now though, the game itself requires a constant connection to play even when playing solo. That's generally not something I enjoy seeing, but this is becoming more and more common with modern video games, so it's not something I imagine we'll be seeing change anytime soon. Let's touch on combat now, and there was a lot of information that we were given, so let's try and break it down into some bite-sized pieces. First of all, we have the loadout screen. Sadly though, it's not what I think a lot of us live service looter fans were expecting, which was preset loadouts that you can equip on the fly and that swap your gear and cosmetics quickly and easily. Hopefully though, this is something that they can implement post-launch, although considering it took other live services like Destiny 7 years to add them, I'm not getting my hopes up. We've also had a glimpse of what the loadouts will control. We have 2 firearm slots, 1 melee and 1 throwable, as well as a shield mod, a traversal mod, and what appears to be 2 additional mods that have not been shown yet. We also already know the core weaponry that will feature in the game. There are 6 types, those being ARs, SMGs, snipers, shotguns, miniguns, and pistols. Each of these weapons can belong to different manufacturers like the GCPD, LexCorp, and more, which at this stage appear to affect the aesthetic of the weapons as well as the perks. Perks such as status effects like you'd usually expect from a game like this, such as freeze, poison, and burn, as well as more gameplay-based perks like the one shown on this sniper rifle, where successful critical reloads will give you the opportunity to instantly burn the next enemy that you hit. On top of all this, firearms in the game are upgradable and, based off the showcase, may be individually customizable, which hopefully adds a fun layer of personality to each player's loadout. I'm excited to see how deep this gear system goes, especially as it's been confirmed that the gear score, which is your typical power level, will dictate the missions that you have access to, as I imagine they'll increase in difficulty the further you progress. And since a big part of what I do on this channel is create builds and guides for players to fully enjoy their experience in games like this, I'm excited to be able to bring you that content, and hopefully it's something you'll enjoy too. There's also a ton of things to go over in terms of combat and traversal, but we've already covered a lot in this video, so I'm likely going to make one solely focused on that and which character I think is going to be the best at launch. So if you want to catch that, make sure you like and subscribe, and as always, stay safe, stay awesome, and I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.